Keba Nanko is one of their.
No, but does Fad live in Atlanta? Does he?
Yes, he does, but he's in Banjul. Brother Sariang, good afternoon, good afternoon. For the people, by the people, another Sunday, bro. How you doing?
Doing great, Father Moss.
How's the family?
Family is great.
Yep, next week is Christmas, bro. Things are happening. Another Christmas.
What's happening?
You know, semesters are already in the capital city of Banjul, and other semesters are kind of planning. I mean, and I understand people are getting ready, and they're back. I mean, they in Bathurst.
Oh yeah.
But the feedback so far, traffic's been great though. You know, with that
Oh yeah.
that majestic highway, it looks like traffic has improved immensely in the capital city. Dr. Barrow, the builder, he's making things happen, bro. Yep.
The lights went out at the airport yesterday.
Yeah, bro. That was very embarrassing. Not only that, I don't think it's a very good thing, you know. I think some people should be held accountable, really, for something like that. Lights going out, you know. I mean, it's some people. I mean, I don't know about NAWIC, but also civil aviation itself. You know, I mean, lights go out, you should have a generator that should kick in. Yeah. Very embarrassing, really. I mean, you can't just gloss over some of these things, some of these actions. Extremely embarrassing, really. So far, I mean, what have you heard? I mean, I haven't heard anything. Maybe tomorrow there might be some kind of.
I read something. I read something of Jaumani's page and from civil aviation. So is this whole thing about NAWIC's not being. There was power on and off, so I'm not sure. So that should not prevent them, as you said, having a generator to respond to those power outages. And if this whole thing impacts the lighting, I think the overall was the on the tarmac, you know, the lighting went off, so the plane could not land safely because those marks are important. So
it looks like my man is you had the Sumbuya last week, and here he goes again. Is this the Swaibu Tourist look? Buddy, Swaibu baby. The cousins are not very happy with Swaibu. I don't know.
What did he say? What is going on?
I don't know. I just saw somebody going after Swaibu. I'm like, what did he say? But the cousins are not very happy. They're not very happy with Esafal either. Do not touch that. They want all the shooting to be directed at one place. None of these. But anyway, we're back here again today, Sunday, for the people, by the people. We're expecting Sal Taal, hopefully. And maybe Pasamba, there must have been some miscommunication, but we'll see.
No, I left him a message.
Okay.
But I didn't hear back from him because the error was from my part. Because when we spoke, my thinking was this week is the 30th. I don't know why I was thinking that way, but later when I realized it and called, I left him a message, but I've not heard back from him. So hopefully.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Uncle Sarian.
Thank you very much. Thank you for standing up. What is right as always. So
activists on steroids, like
we must build that resistance.
Oh, no, of course, of course. Our society would go to the dumps if we continue to allow the government that is supposed to be the custodian of the constitution to just violate it. It can be incremental to some. It may mean nothing, but again, what is the essence of a democracy if the constitution is not to be respected by the government? And the good thing is we have the courts, and they have a job to help interpret the laws, and maybe hopefully it will help us in the future. And if you look at it one way, to just go outside of the constitution and do what you like. If you have a copy of the constitution, this document here, this current document, so the Menga check chapter 1 is calling the Gambia. The Gambia is a sovereign republic because of an amendment that was made in 2001 outside of the constitution, because they had no powers, the parliament, to amend that provision because it's an entering clause. When Kemesing Jammeh went to court to challenge the constitutionality of that amendment, the court sided with Kemesing and said that the parliament had no powers to do that. And this was under Jammeh. But guess what? We are now in what, 2024? 23 years later, the reprinted document is still in circulation with the clause that is unconstitutional still there. And these are the dangers of it. What most people sometimes cannot tell you. You'll hear people argue. There was even a long time, you know what I realized? During the Not In My Name campaign, when Jammeh declared the Gambia as an Islamic state, the whole argument that we made was that Gambia is a sovereign secular republic. That's what the constitution says. Well, the constitution never said that. But because of what was circulated, said that. So at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to help the governments to understand that the constitution is sacrosanct. It must be respected at all costs. It doesn't have to be convenient, especially if you're calling a democracy. Now, if you have a government that doesn't respect the constitution, that's a different thing. But if you're calling yourself a democracy, one that wants to encourage the adherence to the rule of law and all the stuff, the expectation is do the right thing by the constitution. That's just all we're asking for, definitely.
Musa, what do you got to say to that?
Well, how can anyone listen to what the man said and one has a problem with it? Of course I do not. Obviously there is always going to be a but. And here comes the but.
Of course.
As citizens, if the constitution gets violated, clearly the only institution that you can go is the Supreme Court. But my problem with this particular case is this is not a constitutional problem. It's a settled case. It's been settled. Everyone accepted that the constitution was violated. Actually, the minister concerned went up and apologized because the constitution was violated. So it's a settled case. Okay. You want to go to the Supreme Court? You go to the Supreme Court when there is a problem whether the constitution is violated or not. So you go to the Supreme Court to get, okay, you adjudicate, tell us. But that's not what we have here. Then my question becomes, why are we going to the Supreme Court? To get what? Is it to say, to make a declaration? Actually, if I were the Supreme Court, I wouldn't even hear it because it's settled. It's wasting of man hours.
Xam nga yow lan moo nekk sa problème Musa? No. Xam nga lan moo nekk sa problème? And you play a very dangerous game. And sometimes you don't even know
what
it.
is dangerous and what is not.
No, go ahead.
Do we
Go ahead.
want to have a conversation, or do we just
No,
want
go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
And first, I think you need to get away from that. Anytime we talk about issues, I'm playing a dangerous game.
You do.
Just because. Why am I playing a dangerous game?
Because first off, it is only settled when a decision has been read. Constitutional matters are only settled by the Supreme Court. That's why people go to the Supreme Court.
Dude,
unless a Supreme Court make a declaration, it is not a settled matter.
There is not a single party. Always, in any case, there is not a single party or a Gambian who doesn't believe this move that was done as far as the laying of the budget. The Constitution was violated. It's not a if or buts. So all I'm saying is, again, I agree with you. The Constitution was violated. The government did not respect the Constitution. The minister came and gave an explanation. I get that. But what I'm saying is, Pasamba, what's the end game? Going to the Supreme Court. What is the end game? So what? It was violated, yes. Something should have been done. Censor, reprimand, the Minister of Finance and people and the Attorney General, send them to Mile 2. What can the Supreme Court do? Just for them to come and reassert what everybody is saying? Bro, I thought in the Gambia, the judiciary calendar is packed. Bro.
No, Musa, I know sometimes you like to. No. I know sometimes you like to be the devil's advocate, and you'll think that maybe in the. No. The conversation, Sibopam Musa, where you going with it, Sibopam Musa, man momla munta understand in the first place. So you're telling me, for somebody like you, Musajen, who is always here advocating for people respecting the laws. So when the law is violated by the government, so let me say this. Let me ask you a question, Musa. If I were to find you in your house,
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow you to speak, and I'm hoping.
No, I'm going to mute myself.
You're not going to rebuttal because I've always accused you and Banka of being very intolerant of somebody who speaks a language that's not in line with what you're saying. So you go ahead, brother. Yangi mute. Go ahead. Sorry, maybe you can go ahead then.
Oh, go ahead. You didn't finish. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm done.
I'm listening. Well, what is your position then?
I've said what I said.
So then here is the issue. Since Jahanga, then I can come back. If somebody steals from the government, and then government Miniki steals from us, and the person says, yes, I stole the money, so then it is a settled matter. Why are we going to the courts? Why are we trying that person? Is that what it is? Because at the end of the day, it is not my responsibility, my duty, to interpret the Constitution, any provision of the Constitution. That's why we have the courts to do that. And I believe that the courts at the end of the day will render a judgment that will settle the matter. Another case in point, Moi, when we went to the courts, everybody knows the diasporans as citizens of the Gambia have rights to vote. That is an established fact in the Constitution. The IEC had came out and said the diaspora should vote. President Barrow had said that the diaspora should vote. The opposition had said that the diaspora should vote. Everybody and their mama said the diasporans should vote. Maybe before going to court, to get a declaration from the Supreme Court to tell us that, yes, we have a right to vote. We should have said it is a settled matter. What are we going to do? But we went there, and there was a reason for that. To eradicate any form of ambiguity when it comes to the interpretation of the Constitution vis-a-vis the rights of the diasporans. Now, to people like Musa, this is not a serious matter. It's okay. Government be agreeing. Yeah, they violated the Constitution. Yep, agreeing. So let's kumbaya and just carry on with it. You see, this is about governance and respecting the Constitution to the letter. And if we can excuse the blatant abrogation of the Constitution by the state, what country are we living in? So what the Supreme Court would do, it is, and that is why in the Gambia, it is provided for when situations happen where a budget, for some reason, cannot be passed, government will even operate for the next 4 months. So we are exercising a democratic right. We are not calling people to kill anybody or overthrow anybody. We said we are going to go to the courts to ensure that what had happened cannot and must not be tolerated again. Because first off, it is not the speaker's duty or powers to determine the constitutionality of that matter. Because when National Assembly members raised the issue, he overruled them and decided that's okay. He's just going to apologize and we'll carry on. That's what happened. Maybe you were not following. So to us and many others, we will continue to use the courts just because we have to, not because we have time or money to waste, because we only believe the only way to strengthen our democracy is to ensure that there are clear declarations from the Constitution time, from the Supreme Court in terms of interpretation of the Constitution, so that we are clearer as to how to move forward. If it is settled, I don't know how any matter, constitutional matter, can be settled by everybody agreeing to it without a proper interpretation of that provision by the Supreme Court, whose responsibility it is. This is when they say it is settled law. It is because the Constitution or the Supreme Court has had a say in the interpretation of that provision. So now it is a settled matter. That is the only time it is settled. Not when people sit and kumbaya and say, you know what, agree, make mistake, continuation. No, that's not what it is. The government has a responsibility to respect the Constitution. It cannot pick and choose when to respect it and when to violate it. Because when ordinary citizens do that, they pay a hefty price for it. And for you, who've always been advocating for respecting the law, giving our democracy a chance, I think the greatest way of giving our democracy a chance is by respecting the very provision that guides our democracy. The guiding principle of our democracy is the Constitution, is the guiding document.
All right, Sarian. I mean, if you excuse me, I'll rebut. See, you know what's wrong with Gambians? You say one thing, they come up with characterization saying, oh, Musa, I mean, you don't think this is serious? Oh, what are you saying? What are we? That's not what I said. I have never said that. And the analogy that Pasamba is giving with as far as diaspora voting, it's totally far-fetched. They're not even on the same. That wasn't settled. Seriously, it wasn't settled. Not from any angle.
No, but he says,
So
no, it
come
was settled. Read section 39.
Come on now. Listen. You see, you don't have tolerance level. Lolo is the problem.
Okay, Mr. Tolerance, go ahead.
Listen. Not me. I appreciated or liked some of the you were doing. No. I am tolerant. I've always been the Democrat. You are banker very intolerant. When people disagree with you, you go kind of ballistic. Oh, Musa, what you're doing is dangerous. I'm not doing anything dangerous. All I'm saying is, yes, the Constitution was violated, blatantly violated. It's a settled matter. It wasn't like the Attorney General came and said, no, we did not violate the Constitution. Actually, this is something that can be done. So let's go to the courts. So you got both parties would go to the courts so that the courts would have a say, the final say. That's not what we have here. So my point is, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not anywhere close to like you. You read the Constitution well. I don't. I'm from Kaur Primary School. So my point is, everyone and their mama knows that the Constitution is violated in this particular case. So when we go to the Supreme Court, Asan Jallo and them are going to say, yep, 60 days before the National Assembly, 60 days before the end of the year, you should present a budget to the National Assembly. They failed to do that, they violated the Constitution. You don't have to be a constitutional legal person to come to that. So for me, it's a settled case. Now, let's even say, yes, they have the final say. Okay, what's the end game? For them to come and reassert? What's the end game? In other words, you went to the Supreme Court to get what? That is my fundamental question that I need someone to help me. Because I don't want to wait.
Can I answer that?
I don't want to.
Can I answer that?
So that I can answer my phone.
Okay. First off, my Igis Nyom Suleiman all over the government has acknowledged that what's your prayer. Anything that is done unconstitutionally should not stand in a democracy. If the whole process is unconstitutional, why should it stand? And it is very sad for people who've been here arguing about technicalities, the law this, the law that. But then you want to excuse this process? How can something that was done unconstitutionally be applauded in a democracy? And anybody else who goes outside of the law in a democracy is found to have been violating the Constitution. These are the issues. And let's even look at, you see, the issue is there have been serious problems happening in terms of respecting the Constitution by this government and successive governments. Okay? Now, Musa had raised the issue of the diaspora voting, that this was not a settled law. If you read Section 39, it says every Gambian of age has a right to vote.
Yeah. But
so what we're saying, we're extending that franchise to every Gambian wherever they live. So you can read that and say, well, it's settled. But was it? So to me,
we still haven't voted yet.
We will argue this case adequately in court. We have very good lawyers. No, well, to you it's settled, to me it's not. To you it's settled, to man it's not. That's why I'm going to court.
I have the
so don't impose
here.
your settled.
Do you want me to read? Do you want me to read it to you?
No. But Musa.
To read what?
What do you mean by
No. All I'm saying, boy, Hamdalan more dangerous about Gambia. And this has not, I'm not talking about Musa now. It's when people who come here and inundate us with constitutionality and all these technicalities of the law. Now, all of a sudden, because of a government has now acknowledged, oh, we've made a mistake. Why wouldn't they have acknowledged that? They were caught with their pants down. So because they were caught with their pants down, come Sacha Kadlarek, Japan and Yamangi Sacha, so let's just leave me alone. The budget that was passed cannot be constitutional.
End game.
The budget that was passed cannot be constitutional because it was unconstitutionally tabled.
So tell me, so what do you want from the Supreme Court to say nay?
You know what? You'll hear about it. I'm not going to argue my case here. That's why I have my lawyers to do that. And I have great lawyers. Have had a duty or a track record of arguing cases. We'll go there and argue the case. That case will not be argued on for the people by the people. It will be argued at the appropriate place, and that is the Supreme Court. Two people you can sit here and pick and choose, laws to respect. I'm not, and Hamga, this is the same problem that we have with the IEC. Sorry, do you allow me to say continue?
No. Say what you gotta say. Then I have a point here to raise.
This is the same issue that we have with the IEC. The unconstitutionality of its composition. But convenience is a reason why people are looking away, to the extent that where even the minister or the government, outside of their powers, decided they are going to extend the term of a person whose term had expired for an extra year, when the Constitution stipulates it clearly that you cannot serve no more than 2 terms of 7 years. But when that time was no, Musa, listen.
Reflect. Don't tell me about that.
That's not what's on the table. Let me tell you what would have happened. Let me tell you what would have happened. Let me tell you what would have happened. If I were to go to court today, if I were to go to court today to challenge the constitutionality of that, Musa's first thought was, that will bring us a lot of problems, because that would bring back the elections in the overseas and where constitutional.
That is false.
That's what you will do.
Okay. All right.
That's what you will do.
Can I add my commentary on this? So Musa, yes, I think I see your interpretation of what is settled. So if we go into the whole grims of technicality, if the Constitution says 60 days that the finance minister is supposed to submit the budget, even though the speaker stood up and said, "Oh, apologize, let's proceed." I mean, would that suffice? That still this budget that's being passed hasn't, fulfill all the wickets, all the check marks that the Constitution laid out. I mean, saying that the government accept their error. Well, we can go back to all the other cases. There was a little technicality and they threw that out. But you cannot stand and say this same thing applies to one case, but it doesn't apply to the other. So I think the argument there is constitutionally, the speaker saying, "Oh, apologize, let's move forward with the bill." I'm not preempting anything, but does that fit the requirements as the budget's being passed and as it stands, or it needs to be revisited and hopefully bring it back and pass a budget that meets the criteria set forth in the Constitution? And I think I see where the argument is, but just saying he did this, let's go ahead. There's no issue. How about next year they do it? Year after that they do it. Now, what are going to be the standards that we have to set in order to hold someone accountable? I think that's where the question comes into play. As it stands right now, they passed the budget, and there was thousands of reasons that they gave, but would had that stand what is ingrained in the Constitution, and just the speaker raising that, hey, he needs to apologize. Does he have the power? Is that stipulated in the Constitution? I don't know. But I think these are arguments that we need to hear from and I look forward to hearing the case and the final adjudication on the case as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a waste of time. It's in my thing, it's not a waste of time.
The other question is, which I have, is this. We all know sometimes when cases are brought to the Supreme Court, it takes forever. And again, like everybody said, this is important. It's about the law of the land. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm thinking it's a settled case. We don't have any plaintiff and a defense saying, nope, it is not constitutional. Oh, it's constitutional. Again, that's my basic and non-legal
But what do you
mind.
mean by settle, though? What do you mean by settle? I guess again, what is the settle law? I think the settle law, if you say it's
settled in the sense that the action that was taken by the Minister of Finance by laying the budget violated the Constitution because it was late. That's my interpretation.
Okay.
Again, that's what I meant when I said.
But I guess when you say settle,
the question then becomes, the other question that I have is, it could be next year before we even hear from the Supreme Court.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? And
that's okay.
No, I'm just saying, again, my question to Pasamba, what's the end game? What are they trying to get when everything is said
but
and
the
done?
end game, he just told you. No, hold on a second. Hold on. I think you're not being very fair here.
You know what?
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm just sharing my thoughts here. So you are saying, I think your basic argument lays in, the court, I heard this, the court has a very busy schedule. They have tons of cases laying about. Well, that's how it is everywhere in the world. That doesn't take the premise. No, hold on.
No, actually, Musa, not only did they take it, they've asked all parties to respond within 21 days. That's how the process works.
Yes, they want to respond. Let's go.
So this case, believe me, is moving on, in spite of what you and Adama Barrow want.
No. Hold on.
Why are you putting Adama Barrow on the same category?
No, but the case, in all seriousness, now they have 21 days to respond. So the Supreme Court could choose to.
Okay, but question though, the fact that they're saying to respond, does that mean that the Supreme Court has already taken the case, right?
Yeah, we filed the case already. So they have instructed all parties.
You filed the case.
Yes, that's why they instructed all parties to respond in writing.
Yeah,
to our case within 21 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
They will. It's just the legal process. They all have 21 days. The folks that file the case will say this is the reason we say this.
So we're gonna follow it, and hopefully all of us.
And you know what, Musa, this may not be the first case that you think is wasting the court's time, because we'll be coming with some more.
Oh yeah, and which is good.
As long as the Constitution continues to be violated, we'll be going to the courts to challenge.
Absolutely, and I'll be with you all through, because that is the only way that our democracy will flourish. Absolutely no doubt about that.
And talking about the courts, talking about the courts and the backlog, I'm fully aware of that. My niece, who was bludgeoned to death, case Bobu is still dragging in the courts.
So by bringing
but that case is not being heard by the Supreme Court. It is heard by a different court. The Supreme Court is not a court. No. So the job is different.
I do understand that, even though I graduated.
And you know what? But even the backlog, should not be an impediment to people bringing court.
Welcome to Kid Aisha Restaurant. We are located at 1460 Boston Road in the Bronx. We are open 7 days a week from 1 to 12 a.m. We serve Senegambia food and American soul food on Wednesdays and Senegambia food all Saturdays. We do dining, we do takeout. We serve chebijin, chebiapa. We do mafe, we do plaza, we do every other day. We have yassa ganat with rice, super kanja with white rice and fufu. We serve a lot of delicious foods. For dinner, we do dibi, chicken dibi, penta, whole chicken. We have shawarma, lots of good food. Also, offer catering services for weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, whatever you need. We got it here at Kid Aisha. You can call us at 718-450-8606. And we're also on Uber Eats. And if you've ever been to Kid Aisha, make sure you leave a review. Thank you guys for supporting, and we hope to see some new faces.
Sorry, I was trying to cue that in, so automatically it comes on. Whatever you were saying before I continue, sorry.
Kanga, man.
Wow, I didn't mean to.
No. I was saying that we are not hearing you because you were kid. That's fine. But what I'm saying, Moine, these courts will continue. We'll continue the challenge. It's a democracy.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
it's a democracy. Those who have a problem with it, hey, go and counter it too.
All of us should celebrate without a doubt. And I
No, there is nothing to celebrate.
Oh, we have to. When you told me, that's what I told you. Congratulations. We need to celebrate.
Well, I think
our other partners here, if you guys don't mind.
New World International in its work to educate and sensitize overburdened communities regarding environmental justice. The meaning environmental justice is the idea that everyone should have equal protection from environmental risks and harms and equitable access to a healthy environment. NWI believes people should be meaningfully involved in decisions that affect the environment and human health. Here are some things you can do to help protect the environment. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Volunteer for cleanups. Conserve water. Shop wisely. Use long-lasting light bulbs. Plant a tree. New World International in collaboration with the Washington State Department of Ecology will help provide training and equipment to help document and end environmental abuses. If you have any questions, contact New World at www.newworldinternational.org.
I'm going to go balal ma a Hawaii.
Welcome to the Gambia, a country with a rich tradition in tourism and a beacon for investors. Experience a nation committed to progress, a home where nature's beauty is matched by the warmth of its people. A nation that is fast-growing and developing, thriving for togetherness. At the heart of this development is the Global Properties, the Gambia's premier real estate developer. Introducing you to our latest property being developed, the Lakeview, an epitome of luxury and comfort. Whether you are looking for a residence or investment property, Lakeview is the ultimate option. The Gambia is not just a place to live, it's a place to thrive. Welcome home.
Hi everyone! I'm Alima from the Gambia, a small but amazing country in Africa. We have such a cool history here, with ancient empires and explorers from faraway places. And guess what? My new daycare is opening soon to teach you all about it and more. It's called the Afro-British Self-Paced Learning and Child Development Centre. It's going to be an amazing place where we can explore, discover and grow at our own pace. Keep an eye out for more news about ABS. It's coming soon and it's going to be awesome.
All right, Pop Samba.
Yeah, actually, talking about the last living bee, the ad. So I should be having opening ceremony. I know you'll be there in the Gambia, so I'll because Grandpa Musa will be there, so maybe Namuna attend.
Faramos, before you come in, I wanted to kind of respond to our good friend Suleiman Boakers. I mean, Doctor. I think nobody here is debating that. Okay, we understand the National Assembly has the legislative authority to pass the budget. We're not the dispute here is the timeline and whether the speaker has the power to say what next. I mean, if this Minister of Finance failed to submit the budget based on timeline in the Constitution, and he came to the National Assembly, well, the speaker said, oh, he needs to apologize. But I think that's where I wanted to hear whether he has the power, to do that, or what is next. I mean, is this budget constitutional? If they fail the timeline, I mean, we can't come here and start shooting and trying to lecture people about the Constitution. But we get that part, right? So, but I think we should
encourage lecturing people, though.
No. But this is the same guy. Hold on a second. This is the same man all over saying, okay, the court, the penalty has to provide evidence to the court for this technicality nonsense. But now he's here saying everything about what is the prayer. Well, the prayer is for them to get out there and argue the case, whether those timelines and whether the Speaker of the National Assembly has the authority to say, oh, you know what, I overrule, because the session is out there. I overrule, let's move forward. I think that's where the argument is. We just don't need to kind of lecture people about it. We're all using common sense here, but I think it's good for a democracy, and these cases needs to be heard. It's okay to heard.
No.
People can agree to disagree. Not everybody.
No, they can. I'm gonna
we gotta call out we gotta call out the double standard sometimes, man. I mean, come on.
I want to tell this guy called Burama Jambai. You know me well. You bet your bottom dollar. But when you're American, ball, there's nothing about me that is intellectual. So don't even waste your time.
No, Muzamom is an intellectual. But here is Hamgalan gina grausa.
No, you guys are not fair with Suleiman Bok. There are a lot of comments out there reinforcing.
What are you talking about? You guys. What are you talking about?
Don't say you guys. Don't say Sari. No, say Sari. I can hold my own. Hold my own, man. Don't get.
I heard Prasamba. He was basically saying the same thing about Suleiman Bokar's bar.
But that's a fact, though. The man is saying the budget is not passed by a village buntaba. We get that part. You don't go that low to people.
Musa,
you can make your comment without not being condescending, right?
No, hold on. This show, for the most part.
No, absolutely.
You guys have been very condescending.
This show is interactive. For the most part.
Folks, this is interactive.
If
people are going to speak their mind.
But
what is wrong with Sarian also speaking his mind?
But he is wrong, though, the way
you are always money. Yangi di response to Faburama. Money. Yangi di response to Faburama Jambai.
95% of the people that are commenting, they are reinforcing in your position. No one has a problem with that.
No, but what I'm saying here is, but I didn't even see. No, Musa, I didn't even see the comment that Sarah is talking about. But who is doubting here that the National Assembly is the body that has the powers to pass the budget?
He's just making the same points that you guys are making.
No, but why is that even an issue of discussion? That's not.
You guys should learn to be tolerant.
Eba
Nanko, PPP. No, why Keba? Congratulations. Yes. I have seen parties. You're talking about if any party in the Gambia should say we are grassroots. I believe it if PPP says it. You know what I'm saying? Common people can come together and remove Executive General, bring in a new one, a young guy, a dynamic fellow. Keba, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Musa. Thank you so much.
Well, Keba Nanko, welcome to the For the People by the People, and
the floor.
Congratulations to you guys for finally having a Congress that is not chaotic, because I think your first two Congresses were crazy like hell. Who is breaking? Am I breaking?
No, you're not.
No, it's Musa who is freezing. No, Musa lives in Atlanta. Their internet is terrible.
Yeah, you see his hands is on his chin. He's freezing.
But Keba, please, I just wanted to congratulate you guys for, Musa, I'm breaking. It's your internet.
I can hear him, yeah.
You live in Atlanta. I live in the nation's capital. My internet is fine.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah,
What?
it is you.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to congratulate him. Definitely,
No, I
you
asked
guys.
Sariang. Sariang, it's you.
I think you guys did a great job, and I think if there is one lesson that I believe that must be learned, people must learn to leave when it is time to leave. You know. But anyway, it's a democracy. Keba Jallo had all rights to stand, but if I were him, I was not going to contest. But again, you guys did what you had to do. You have a new leadership. I hope finally, maybe PPP would finally somehow come back to relevance, because definitely it has not been for a very long time. But congratulations.
Thank you very much, Famon.
Hey, Keba, congratulations, man.
Yes, Sariang. Thank you, Sariang. Yeah. Thank you.
Why, Musa, why not give people the background information of what people are congratulating this guy for? Most people may not even have known that the PPP had a Congress. Nobody talks about the PPP.
All over social media.
Listen, I was the one who told you about the results. Did you even know Saturday they voted, Musa?
No, he did not.
Oh,
you know they were
Keba.
voting, but you didn't even know.
No, hold on.
The outcome.
Keba. Oh, hold on. Keba, was it last week I was with you guys on the phone trying to bring your potential candidate with Jebel Cisse?
Yes.
So if this guy stands here and tell you, I don't know what's going on, I know what's going on.
Of course.
But Keba, for our thousands of viewers, what happened? How did you guys do it? You've elected a new party leader and Secretary General, a young guy, again from Atlanta, Georgia. That says a lot. Give it to us, Keba. How did you guys do it? Something happened. Keba. Is it the excitement? I guess, Pasamba, like Peter Gomez would say, when it comes to radio, we can't stand quietness or silence. So we have to keep talking. But Pasamba, it's interesting though how they were able to do it. You're talking about Keba Jallo. I mean, Keba Jallo is PPP, has a lot of influential. He's been PPP, like he would always say. I mean, going all the way back when he was in high school.
Yep, and became the first KMC chairman.
Exactly.
You know, I remember that. Because he was under the tutelage of OJ. Wherever you saw OJ, you saw Keba Jallo. But again, I think Keba Jallo had the worst few weeks in the politics of Gambia, because they lost that case against Tumanjai, and then to also lose the coveted secretary generalship of the PPP is a big loss. But again, I hope PPP will not discard him, because I think he's one person who had always done a lot for the party, especially when he was in the diaspora. But anyway.
Yeah, thank you so much. My people are calling me, as you know, since this happened. So my phone has been very busy. I apologize. It break my, So it has been a very challenging period, especially for the last 3 months for the PPP, because the Congress was approaching, and then it has been an elective Congress to elect a new leader. We went through a lot of processes, from the application processes, trying to establish the electoral commission. This is our internal electoral commission process, to make sure that we have people that are credible, who we can trust, both parties can trust to participate, and so we have a national executive committee meeting. Our national executive committee constitutes the way it is constituted, and I just want to put this across to understand that our party is the voice of the people. And in order for us to guarantee that it has the grassroots should need to have a voice in the party. So the way we constituted, we refer to it as a national assembly. We have every constituency will have 2 representatives elected by their constituencies. That's what constitutes the National Executive Committee, called the NEC. In our case, we view it as a national assembly. Once Congress is approaching, these are the people that will go and decide where the Congress will actually happen. Which region and at which location. We start with that. We have the National Executive Committee meeting, and they will have to decide who are going to be electoral commission members. But these electoral commission members will be nominated. The Central Committee, Keba Jallo he was the party leader, will nominate at least more than 7 people to suggest to the NEC for them to become the electoral commission members of the PPP. In order to look, so we did that process. We went there. The Central Committee also suggested where the Congress will happen. They suggested that the Congress will happen in Jaraswama. The NEC members voted against it and said we're going to transfer the Congress will happen in Banjul. Okay, but at that point, Medicare saw no interest. So it's just a coincidence. One of the members proposed, and they voted against it. The Central Committee pushed, the grassroots voted against their proposal. It should be in Jaraswama. And then the issue of the electoral commission members, it was when they elected the NEC members, went against it. But again, when the voting was happening, some people went for prayers, and then they didn't have the actual vote, in order to vote against those people that they nominated. And then they have the numbers to maintain those people as the electoral commission members. And then moving forward, it becomes very difficult because a lot of issues happen. There are many people have a lot of difficulties or faith in the process because of the way it was constituted. But again, it's democracy. You can't get it all. We have to move ahead with it. And then during that process, certain issues came about. To our surprise, what we understood was there to marginalize other people not to participate in the process. The Central Committee, came with a new rules and regulation that they said it is going to be the requirement all of a sudden to qualify people to contest for elected positions. I'm like Ko Sambajao in our party. I always call him, I know because I also follow Halifa Sallah. I don't study law, but PPP Constitution I adore. I love so much. And I personally defend the Constitution of PPP. So when they come with those regulations, if you look at our constitution, we said the power to pass any rules and regulation in the party lies in the National Executive Committee, where we have 2 members elected from the consequences. They can pass any rules or regulation that can be enforced by the executive body, which is the National Executive Committee, Central Committee of the party. So this rule and regulation that they said to be a party leader, there is a levy. You have to pay $90,000. I said, what? Where in the content do we have people have to pay $90,000?
So Nanko, those
Yeah.
people, they're not following you very well. You're basically saying, there are a lot of people that don't really have this background information about it.
That's why I want to bring it up.
Before the Congress,
so what do you explain is the process leading to the Congress?
Right?
Say again. Okay, say again. Yes.
Right.
What say? I didn't hear that part. Can you repeat yourself again?
No, because Moses is freezing. So what you're explaining is, okay, for background info, the PPP had its Congress yesterday.
Okay, yes. The PPP
yes.
actually had its Congress yesterday.
So they elected a new leader.
Yes, a new
and what you're explaining is the process that was being put in place by the executive that was led by the ousted Keba Jallo, in which now they were imposing, pretty much bringing in new rules.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to say how we arrived at that position, because it's a whole process, and then people were not following, but that we went through. It's just to understand how our party operates, and how do we arrive to this point until we are able to defeat him. It was a very difficult. It was sleepless nights. It was sensitizing. It was talking to the grassroots. It's to mobilize, and in fact, put resources in it. Otherwise, we will not be able to defeat Ongul Keba. All right? He's an incumbent who literally bring rules in the party to, in fact, become unopposed. The objective was that. So the rules and regulations that they bring in, which they don't have the power to establish such, was $90,000 to contest for party leader position. If you don't have it, you can participate. They also said the person must be mentally and physically fit. Subject, I don't know what that means, but those were part of the regulation that they put there. The person must produce grade 12 certificate, was part of the things they put there. And then the person must sign a consent form Those are the things that they put there that I can remember of. Okay, and the person will have to take an oath of office, something like that. There are a few things that they put there. So this was a bone of contention within the party. So literally, people like us said all those things are not in the constitution, and anybody who is going to apply for those positions should not pay for those monies or should not respect any of those conditions. And again, they said the people have to also fill nomination papers. That nomination papers include 10 people who have to nominate you. So it nominate you. So they take this through the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is one that brings this regulation to us. And then people like us, we are saying it's not constitutional. And all the people that we are there, not in their team, all do their application and refuse to respect any of those rules and regulations. Now the Central Committee has to decide whether to approve them or disapprove them or reject their application. So we went to a stage. And the Central Committee members are people that Uncle Keba appoint. These appointees. They are the ones who should decide whether these people are qualified or not. So now we said none of them did it, and then only their team did it. What would be the fate of that decision? So it went through a few days. People applied. Nobody knew what would happen. We are all waiting. We are pushing, and then when things get very tense, we had that now we have we are a council of elders. For the first time I heard about council of elders came, they beg us. Now we take all those conditions off. Now people can contest. I say it's fine. So now those conditions that they put there, they said the Council of Elders intervene. So because of that intervention, all those conditions are now moved. Now people can actually contest. So even these are letters we wrote. There's a communication letters. The National President of the PPP and Honorable Duda Kamaso was very helpful in this process because he showed no interest and he said he wanted to make sure this Congress is credible, fair, and transparent. So he never contested. He voluntarily, said he's not going to contest for the election, and she was very helpful, writing letters to the commission. Commission responding to her, you are interfering in our work. And when she said asking for clarity, what did they mean by those conditions, and on what ground did they rely on those rules and regulations in the Constitution? It's not available. So that matter left, and now the Electoral Commission, asked people to submit their constituency committees to submit their delegate list, make sure it is signed by their chairpersons. The delegate list, those forms were submitted, and when those forms are submitted, they refused to give the candidates the delegate list. Nobody knows who those delegates are. They keep those delegate lists until the day of Congress. Nobody knows who are the delegates. So actually, people are just going through the countrywide tour. They don't know who they are talking to. They don't know who the actual voters are. It was difficult. So we went through the process.
Let me ask you this though, Keba.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the outcome? Do you have the vote counts?
Yeah. Of course, the outcome was we went through. It was definitely we went through the process yesterday. Uncle Keba came. Madike Fall have to travel all the way to USA to be there. I think that saved us. And he arrived there on time. And then actually the voting happens. Madike Fall defeat him at the Congress.
So there were only two candidates. It was only Madike.
No, we have three. We have Uncle Keba Jallo. We have Usman Madike Fall. We have Alpha Jallo.
And do you have the vote counts for each of them?
Yes. Madike Fall has 43 votes. Uncle Keba has 42 votes. He defeated with one vote difference.
Wow. That was a close one.
Very close. And then the other person have one vote.
So, wow, okay. So that means that the PPP, you guys have 86 voters, eligible voters, or not
yes,
everybody voted?
Yeah, listen, some people abstained, some people left because some people left, some people never saw up.
Okay, so now Ali, I had said that the PPP, I think this was the first normal Congress that you guys had without a major problem that we saw outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
There were issues, according to your narration here, maneuvering by Keba and his people to make sure that they had the upper hand. Now, your last Congress caused you Tumanjai as a member.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go and contest as an independent, went to the National Assembly. The one before that caused the BB Dabo, and now the establishment of GFA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the courts have ruled. Are you here? Somebody calls. But anyway, Saria, it looks like we have this syndrome in the Gambia where nobody wants to leave a position. You know, you just want to be there and then be there. And sometimes you even undo all the work that you did because with everything that Keba had done for that party, and for it to end this way, and I hope maybe they'll find a time to heal themselves and then bring them, you know, because the PPP really needs to revive itself and become a lot more relevant again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting listening to him, but I'm also, interested in hearing him, looking at the past, moving forward, what are they going to do differently, to ensure that, so obviously they were not happy with some of the past processes. What are they doing to ensure that, more members are inclusive and bring more energy to the party? I think that is something that I would like to hear from him as well. So what happened to our comrade there, Father Mose?
He's an old man. He doesn't even know how to work his internet. But you see though, one thing though, you gotta also give the PPP, Sarian, is that at least looking at their Congress, I think they always have the most competitive Congress out of all political parties. Because what we've seen is that mostly they would just negotiate among, sometimes even when there is competition, they'll have a committee that put people aside and say, no, let's not go but this way. But the first Congress between when OJ was Papa Njai was running against Bibi Dabo. It was very competitive. I was there with Musa. They had us as electoral officers.
Oh yeah.
It was an interesting one. The last one too, with Tumanjai and Keba Jalo, was also very, very competitive. This one too was very, very competitive. So definitely you have to give it to the PPP that at least their congresses are not just makeovers where you just come and they say, oh, let's give Musa Jeng the position. You gotta give that to PPP. They have held the most competitive Congress in that country by political parties. Destructive, yes. Competitive, absolutely. So at least you'll see that they practice the democratic process, because it's a contact sport when you go to the PPP Congresses. All the others, we give speeches, we negotiate positions, and distribute them.
Yes. So sorry, Coach. I mean, I left, man. So our
Congress, I'm really sorry. I don't even know what happened.
So our Congress actually happened yesterday. We have proven to the Gambian people that our party is owned by the people. It doesn't own by an individual. There is no party in the Gambia, for Gambian political history, that have ever went against an incumbent, defeated an incumbent, and elect a new leader. A leader.
It has never happened.
And this leader, when he saw interest, he was presumed to say the campaign he's in the diaspora. If somebody in diaspora cannot lead us? That was the campaign they lead. And now PPP has also demonstrated that if you want to marginalize our member based on any issue, whether it's a tribal issue, whether the person lives in there, whether the person is black or white, we are a party that believes in diversity, we believe in inclusiveness, and then we believe that anybody in this party, as far as you are committed to the party, and then as far as you are a member in this party, the sky is the limit. It doesn't matter where you belong to, it doesn't matter what you believe in. What matters is your commitment to the PPP. And if there's anything that we learn from this Congress, and for the rest of us who are advocates for PPP, we have proven to the Gambian people the party still, believe in its core principle and values. That rule of law, respect for.
So Keba.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Keba.
Go ahead. Yes.
I mean, there is a reason why quite a few political parties they avoid these kind of what I would call it, infighting within the parties, going through a regular Congress. There is a reason for that. There is a price to be paid, and that is this price called unity. Looking at what happened yesterday, can you tell us that whether the party is still unified, and how do you intend to do that? Because Keba Jallow has been part of the PPP for a long time. Now, I don't know what his take on when everything was said and done, what did Keba say? Did he reach out and congratulate the winner? is the party looking at how to bring everybody together? Because at the end of the day, okay, you guys won. There is a new leader, but is the party still united? And how do you intend to do that?
Very good. That's why elections have consequences. And one of the consequences of elections, and that's why I know many parties avoid it, because they fear that. Because once there's an election, there's division. And then the hope is that the new leader, Usman Madiga Fall, and the new national president is my own brother, Mbemba Nanko. They have a lot of work to do. The party is divided. We have a lot of people that left the party. All right. Because of our Congress and because of Tumanjai's Congress. We named those Congress after them, but it's a party Congress, but you know what happened actually. So now what we need to do is to bring all those parties. And there are people who are also and they have sympathy for PPP, but they cannot be active in the party because of most of those issues. So the focus will be now, how do we bring everybody on the table and trying to reconcile the party? That's will be the focus. And then understanding and knowing Uncle Keba, he has PPP at heart. All right, he spent all his life in PPP. All right, and I believe that his loyalty and commitment and dedication was for the PPP to progress, and then be sustainable within the Gambian political, process. So I believe when it comes to him, there's no more difficulties to bring him on board. He was there the whole process. I was on the ground, and then he actually accepted the result in good faith. So now it's now left the new leadership to make so, because we need Uncle Keba, more now than ever, to help them in the transition, to help them to bring the party together, and also to help them to guide and help them what will be the way forward. What are some of the challenges he have? But you have to be able to understand his challenges, and then when you understand those challenges, and then you'll be able to understand, you can come with a SWOT analysis, our strengths and weaknesses, the moving forward. So I believe that when you come to Uncle Keba in the party, everybody in this party believes Uncle Keba is a good man. Uncle Keba is a good man. He's a man, he was so good to an extent that you cannot talk to Uncle Keba, he tell you something that will actually make you feel bad. His intention is to make everybody feel happy around him. And that has been his major challenges. Electing him out is not about him as an individual. No, it's about what we believe. When people want change, they do change, but not to his personal character. People need to understand that. We just want change, and it's somebody that we all respect and adore, and this thing has to continue. And this thing, all parties need to make sure that we respect him. That's it.
So
and we'll do that. Yeah.
Keba, there are people who are very suspicious of politicians, especially what is happening in the Gambia. We see what my party did. We see people switching to the NPP. If you can beat them, join them. And there are people who are saying, okay, who is this Usman, Madike Fall? Is this new PPP kind of going to be another turning around and just joining NPP and form an alliance? Or are you guys going to stand on your 2 feet and contest? Who is this Usman Madike Fall? Are there any assurances that you guys are not going to pack your marbles and say, you know what, we're going to join the NPP? Because that's what parties tend to do, especially smaller parties.
Yeah.
What say you to that?
No, that is, I think one of the major reasons why the people were, unhappy within the party is the party relying on the MPP for survival. And these are some of the issues that people vote against. And Madike Fall understood that. And Madike Fall has been with us for the past 7 years in the USA chapter. He's our president. He's not new to this party. He did a lot of tremendous work within the party. So, you also understood what is at stake. Our focus today as a party is to restructure the party, is to strengthen our institutions, is to make sure that we have political bureaus all over the regions, to make sure that our grassroots is reactivated. We focus on the party. But for us to think that none of us here thinking about going to MPP for what? What do we have for what? There's nothing going to MPP. We need to our focus here is to strengthen our party. We believe our party is too good to follow any political party in the Gambia. When you come to issue of let's contest elections, the PP will be contesting elections. Now I can assure that we are going to contest elections. All what we are asking for is people need to understand there are a lot of challenges when you come to, let's say, contest of the presidential election. There could be challenges when you come to resources and all those things. But we will do our best, our utmost best. And we are our utmost best to contest for presidential elections. It's not about winning. As I say, I always tell my people, it's about competing. And once you compete, you are literally having a free advertisement, right? So, I mean, we have to do something to contest elections, because when people go to the booth, to the polling station, they see the PPP logo, they can decide to vote against you, but they know there is a party logo there that they have an opportunity to vote in for. So it's something that we will advocate through the new leadership to make sure we go all the way. And again, as I said, the decision to do coalition with any political party in the Gambia lies in the hands of our NEC, the National Executive Committee, where every region, every constituency will send 2 people. They will decide if we have to go for coalition with anybody. They have vote. They will vote to say yes or no. It's not the party leader or the executive that will decide that. It's the people, the grassroots will decide that. And it's a whole process. So I'm not seeing that happening based on what has happened in our Congress, but people are voting against that. One of the reasons was to go and stay as independent and focus on a party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, young Pop Samba.
Yeah. Thank you, Keba. So, Keba, I think I heard you. You highlighted the challenges very, very well, and so to some extent, you've talked about the need to bring unity. So I think my question to you is, as the party elected a new leader, what will be the key priorities as far as restructuring and ensuring those pathway members who went and formed their own party or affiliate, to bring them on board to ensure that this is a larger and a more vibrant, party, considering you talk about the democratic means and all that stuff. So how do you see? I don't know, Mr. Madike, but I have another question. But how do you see your party moving forward in ensuring that you bring those folks, the outreach and all that stuff?
I mean, it's quite optimistic because when Madike was contesting in the process, he even reached out to Tumanjai. We all know Tumanjai was a key factor, in what happened in our last Congress. And then, knowing that I'm so electing a new leader, there are a lot of people who are angry on both sides or dissatisfied on both sides. He has an opportunity right now to talk to those people, because he himself was a part of all those differences that we had before. So his role now is to reach out to all those people. And I see prospect there, because the feedback we are having after this election, the people that calls me out of the blue, right, that I'm coming back. Even me, I was shocked. Okay, so I believe that the prospect is very clear, that we as a party, we have a larger opportunity, greater opportunity now to reconcile. And I'm so even my sister is here, and when I'm here, I know she's always active. To Lord C. She may not have no reason now. She may actually come back home, right? All right, and of other people, and other people who are calling and said, how do we start this process again? We are ready to be more active. My brother Foli Singade, very, very instrumental in this Congress and mobilization and talking to people all over the country, right? I mean, we have, we have a lot of people. We have one of our very strong people. I have to mention his name. He was very significant in this process, called Prince Mane. Prince Mane is in UK, but he was very, 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 very helpful in this. So we have people. We understand what is at stake. We understand as a party, we cannot move forward until we are united. And Medical File message was unity. And I'm sure he will have to reach out to everybody so we can get united again. But it's going to be faster. But I think there are a lot of prospects. There are a lot of opportunities there, and we're going to explore every opportunity that we have to make this happen.
All right, thank you, Keba. The other question is, I think Musa asked this earlier, is this elephant in the room. Everyone tends to say all these great things at the end. They sway away, and your party in particular, on a different leadership, did it. And what assurance? And I know you mentioned it's comprises of the National Executive Committee, and each member, I think, 2 voting members to, if there is sort of a coalition. But is that built into the Constitution? And does the Secretary General can make a unanimous unilateral decision to form a party? And what kind of constraints or some type of restraints in place to ensure that that doesn't happen? And I'm not a member. I'm not saying it's bad one way or the other, but what I'm trying to say is, if you gonna restructure and folks, telling, to close season and say, oh, I hope they don't form alliance, blah, blah. So I'm just letting you know, one of the sticker for her is probably that point. But what process is in place to ensure that the party leader doesn't make a unilateral decision, or at some point even override the members of the executive committee if there is a need to form a coalition with one party or another?
Yeah, it's a whole process. It's in our constitution that when it comes to any kind of alliances, the party leader is the chief directing and negotiating officer of the PPP. He may go into negotiation with any parties when you come to alliances, coalition, whatever the format, whatever it is. But for that only stop at negotiation level, and then the central committee can say, we have negotiated with so and so, and this is our position. Now the party law said this position to go with any political party on any election, you will have to call for any EC who represent, like as I said, how it's constituted. You will table that before them. They will have to vote whether they agree for them to go with party A or party B. If they vote against it, it cannot happen. If they vote for it, it means it's not his decision. It's a unanimous decision or the majority decision by the party. We include the grassroots. So it's a constitutional requirement. The party leader don't have that power to say, I'm going with this party. The party leader, if he want to go, he can go. But the party states he doesn't want the party. He can go, and we go back and elect a new leader. So, and then, many people need to understand that. And in fact, we said every 6 months, now we now said at least every 1 year, the secretary and the party leader will have to come to the NEC and give the state of the report of to give a report on the state of the party. And whereas the party find out that how to call it, there is the central committee is acting on certain policies or laws, whatever they are doing, the NEC have the power to revoke whatever they are doing and set and commit a new rules or a bylaw that they will enforce. Whatever they do, the NEC have an oversight over them. So our constitution, it does not give the party leader any mandate to go with party A or party B. It relies on the people who have to decide the fate of the party when it comes to that.
Thank you. Coach.
So Nanko, Coach,
yes,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Musa, before your internet goes out again.
So Keba,
yes,
there are other players in the PPP that people are still questioning. Where are they? Like, for instance, the David Jawara. And I remember when we had Keba here, was it a few months ago? And my thing was like, maybe PPP, if they were able to bring back somebody like David Jawara, and that is the former president's son, back to the fore. And folks like, James Gomez, did he participate in the Congress? Was he there? The former president. Are those folks still around, or is the party moving on a totally different direction?
No. Daura Jawara is my uncle. Now here and there we communicate. When you come to this Congress, though, I never engage him on this subject matter. But I know Uncle James Gomez is still PPP, but I don't hear him participating in the Congress. I don't even know whether he went there. It is something that I don't have any information to say he is not PPP. All what I know is an advisor. where it is needed. We consult him. That's why, in fact, in order to make all those people relevant, or in fact, the people who are in the party, for some reason they are retired. We come with a new provision in the party called the Board of Trustees of the party. This Board of Trustees will constitute not more than 15 distinguished personalities, and then we see this Board of Trustees to be the arbitrators of the party, and then they will be able to resolve our disputes, our conflicts. And then, so we are hoping that this Board of Trustees will be set up as soon as possible, and then we'll be able to reach the people who may not be, for one reason or other, they cannot be publicly involved in politics, but they are people that are credible. I mean, and then whatever they say, people will be able to respect it. So we are trying to make sure that all the people who are our former members of the party, but they are retired, or they are, they don't want to participate publicly, or they are young, whatever the case might be, to engage them and put them in the trustee. So whereas we have problems, I mean, they can serve as the key arbitrators, which I always say our Supreme Court. For example, when you expel somebody from the party, and then the person can ask, let me go to the Board of Trustees, and if they rule, whatever way they rule against, that decision will stand in would be the fate of the person. So, for example, when you go to Congress, there's a problem. The people will have to go to the Board of Trustees, who we believe should be 15 distinguished personalities. I mean, there are qualification requirements to be part of that Board of Trustees, which we are going to set up. It's a whole process. So I believe people like James, people like Dauda, and other people who may not participate in this, but I think they'll be very instrumental in those kind of institutions that we're trying to build within the party. So as I say, PP is an institutional building. We line our problems, we line our mistakes. This is why these elections happens. And anytime we do election, new ideas come about. Because we are here to stay. I mean, we may not win elections, but we think we are a symbol for democracy.
I think that's a very good thing to say. We may not win elections.
Yeah, but
that tells me that
you may not. But again, we are a symbol for democracy. We are a symbol for republicanism, because we are the party that bring Republicans. That bring Gambia as an independent state. So we are a symbol.
But I need to push back on this one though.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, serious people form political parties because they want to win and they want to be able to be given, the opportunity to govern. I mean, listening to you, it looks like you're basically settling that, you know what, we may not even win elections, but we have
No, you missed me. What I'm saying, I mean, in our situation right now, we are not winning elections. I'm saying now, we are not winning elections, but our objective now, moving forward, what I said, we are going to contest elections. I told you that. So our contesting elections now is our key. We are going to move forward to make sure we contest elections, and we will participate at all levels. We're going to do that thing. But again, we are contesting elections. You don't decide that. It's people that decide. So what I'm saying, that whether you win elections or not, we are going to continue competing in elections, and we are also going to strengthen our institution as a party. We're going to do that. That's not in our hands. Yeah, it's not in our hands to win elections anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob Zamba, go ahead before we maybe.
Nyanko, my final question is: we've seen a lot of parties die a natural death or unnatural death by aligning themselves with other parties where you pretty much subsumed by those parties and you don't come into existence anymore. The PP has not had success for a very, very long time. Even the 2 seats that you guys had in the national, I don't think you have anymore, do you?
It's only 2 seats we had, yes.
Well, Tuma is now officially back legally in the PPP. Will the PPP allow itself to rebuild its grassroots base or whatever, or will you just decide to go and join any party that is out there, thereby killing any chance that you may have to stand on your own?
The PPP, under new leadership of Usman Madike Fall, commonly known as Pa Alaji, we are ready to compete at all levels. There is no sign that the PPP is trying to rely on any political party for survival or to go for coalition with any political parties. We will do our best to reach out, to mobilize and expand our base. That's our objective, to bring people home, to bring everybody who are dissatisfied based on the reasons you mentioned. And I think these are some of the factors there. And if we are a serious political party, we really want to move forward, we should not in any way try to go back to the same issues again, because it's not going to help the cause of the PPP. So our objective now is very clear. The PPP is focused. All what we need is help. We want people to come back home. We want people to believe that the PPP, we have done something that no party have ever done in the Gambian political history. And PPP is the only party that is breaking history in the Gambia. So therefore, no matter how hard, because people, nobody believe that we will be able to change the leadership because of our how to call it, our previous congresses. But again, as I said, political parties, when you are there, it's like it depends how you see political parties. But if you are a member, you are loyal to the cause of the party. You don't just leave the party, because when you leave the party, you live with the people, and they can do whatever they want to do with it. You stay on the cause, and we have faith, no matter how challenging they are. Truly speaking, one day, God will come, and I think that has happened today. We have the faith within the party. We are loyal to the party. We are committed. That's why we are able to do what we did today. So moving forward, our objective today, our vision today, is to be an independent political party, to focus on how to expand our base, and to also make sure we are contesting election at all levels. And the objective of contesting election is to win at all levels. That is left with the Gambian people. But our message will reach them. The first thing we're going to do is to come with a very clear and simple message. When it comes to our messaging, our manifesto, what will be the way forward? And our message will be very clear. We are going to contest elections at all levels. Presidential election, we are going for it. We are going for National Assembly election. We are going for local government elections at all levels. If we can, and we know we can, and we're going to deliver. Are we going to win? That's the Gambian people. And don't even have to mind that we are thinking about MPP or UDP or any other party. That's not our objective now. Yes, politics, Mom, there are consequences involved. Knowing that we have a problem when you come to this, how will I say, our first person party pool. People have concerns that it's held incumbent. Will there be any compromise in those things? As I said, those compromise doesn't rely on the party leader. It relies with the NEC members. And for me, I'm against it. For me, Keba Nango, me speaking to you as an individual, we are going to contest the election. That's my objective. If the executive will listen to me, we're going to go and compete. And I believe if everybody come home, the next election is PPP is going to be the next, going to form a new government in the Gambia. But Gambian people, what is going in the Gambia today, if they could reflect our government, what we had done before, they should understand PPP is the only party that can deliver for the Gambian people.
So I said my final, what this is going to be my final. Do you see the PPP? Does the PPP, would you know or not? But let me ask you this. Would the PPP support Adama Barrow going for a third term? And do you believe that Adama Barrow, under any circumstance, should be seeking a third term?
As far as I'm concerned, Keba Nango, I went to Gambia recently. I knew and I've seen, yes, I will be very fair. I saw some infrastructure development. I saw it. But what I understand as a PP member, the Gambian people did not have struggling to have their daily bread and butter. This is a problem in the Gambia. People don't eat infrastructures. People's livelihood is more important to us. So as far as I am concerned, I'm not going to be part of anybody that is going to advocate for President Barrow to contest for third term. This is not a party position. As I say, I'm an individual. But when you say the PPP will, I don't want to speak for the PPP. I'm speaking for me as an individual and what I believe in. I believe in also. I believe that I'm not going to also go against his will and his constitutional right to say don't contest for third term. That is right. I mean, that's what we have in the Constitution. My position is the PPP should go in and contest against President Barrow and all other parties. And then let's see what the government people will decide. But President Barrow, Keba Nanko is not going to endorse his third term. For his third term, we need change in Gambia, and then we all believe we need change in the Gambia. It also depends on how the current the opposition handle themselves. Because the only way the President Barrow and MPP can win this election, it depends on the opposition. If the opposition are well coordinated, there's unity, and there's a sense of direction, it's possible. If there is no sense of direction and there is no unity, it's a waste of time to win President Barrow on the ballot. No single party can do this thing. And then to our brothers in the UDP, once they understand that building consensus and building alliances is fundamental, and then you don't have to belittle party A, party B, because every vote counts. It's first past the pool. You can't do it alone. Then they should initiate something that is very concrete And that is something people can look into and go around it. We did it in 2016. Gambian people can do it again when we have a credible process. But do I endorse that? The oppositions have to be united. No unity. I Pakano is a waste of time. Pesambaro will win with a landslide. But it's a simple, it's first by default. Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so very much,
Thank you very much, Keba. So maybe one of these days we'll bring your new Secretary General to the 40 people, by the people, and then we will ask him questions. Where does he intend to take the party under his leadership? So we're looking forward to that, Keba. But again, congratulations, without a doubt. You guys did a fantastic job. Really, we got to give it to you. And congratulations to Pa Alaji as well, one of my Atlanta brothers. That's how we do.
That's it. No, Atlanta is the new. No, look, listen. Atlanta is the new home, right? You guys are.
Well, Atlanta was the new. Keba Jallow is from Atlanta. So what are you talking? You guys just threw away one Atlanta folk and accused him of everything that you want to embrace and one. You know what, Keba? Please.
We're coming to Atlanta, okay? Full time. Look, thank you very much again. And I remember last time I was here, it was after our Congress. I was here going through our constituency. Coach was putting me on the spot on our constitution and how we go about it. So that was my last time that I was here. And I appreciate this so much to be on this platform and to tell us how our Congress went, the process we went through, and the challenges, and then eventually, we think that the PPP has won in this case. And then I have great faith that Uncle Keba love this party, and I believe that he'll be able to help in this transition so that we can have a sense of direction, and he'll be very crucial there. And I believe that Pa Alaji is a man that is very compassionate. He's a very kind and respectful young man who has strongly, for one reason, believed in the PPP, the cause of PPP. Despite all these challenges and the credibility issues, he stay in the cause of the PPP and advocate for us to stay on course as diasporian to support the cause of the PPP. Never discouraged. So I believe that, and then when he came in, one of the reasons why he came in is to help to unite the party. As he said, if this party is not united, we cannot go anywhere. That's his message. And that's why I want to run. When I run, I'll be able to put this party together because I'm everybody's friend. Pa Alaji is everybody's friend. So he'll be able to put this party together. I have good faith in it. We all have so much respect for Uncle Keba's service and his long-time service and sacrifice for the PPP. We're gonna honor that. There is no way to disrespect Uncle Keba in this matter, and we're gonna make sure that he play a very important role when it comes to how to move forward with this party. I thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
No doubt.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Keba, congratulations, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Salian. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Pop Samba, but no doubt, it was refreshing that they were able to, but also to be fair to Keba Jallow has always been PPP. I remember.
He would always be.
Coming to Atlanta here, this was before the 2001 election. It was Keba Jallow who was really going all over town. This was supporting the UDP PPP alliance. At that time, really, this party support, even in the diaspora, was not very well organized. So you had people like him and someone who really believed in OJ Jallow as well. So I just hope that they will find a way to mend fences with Keba, because I think the party needs him. At the end of the day, unity is important, really. And,
you know what I think needs to happen for the PPP?
Hopefully,
for the PPP to remain relevant. I think so. They need to put their egos aside, bring the new leader to sit with Bibi Dabo, sit with Tumanjai, and they can find this thing. Because GFA and PPP
and David and even Domi Jawara,
and David, maybe David Jawara can be the one to be at least that mediator to find a way of forging. Because at the end of the day, listen, GFA is GFA, but GFA on the PPP, I think, would have been a lot more relevant political party than what it is trying to do now. Now, the PPP without the BBs and the Tumas is nothing but a name. So you have to be able to bring all these people together. You form a strong political party, have an alignment and say, you know what, we're going to have another mini Congress. This person is a candidate, this person is this. At least you bring a party. Because at the end of the day, when you hear BB talk, BB can only tout PPP's legacy.
Of course.
PPP, the party, can only tout PPP's legacy. Tuma
Definitely.
Njai would only tout Tuma's legacy through the PPP and what his family did with the PPP and all that stuff. So I don't
Definitely.
think it's a difficult thing. So for them to remain relevant, I think they need to come together, collapse, all these parties together, name it the PPP, and then move it from there. That's because GFA, the majority of the people that are GFA are elderly people.
Yeah, they're all PPP actually. Former
they're
PPP.
all PPP.
Yeah.
The IICs and all these people. It's not going to go anywhere. So just, have a conversation.
No, bro.
Yeah.
Linga fala neka sade. PPP.
Man, man, I'm strategic.
No, but we talked about this. Man, I even touted this. David Jawara.
No, Coach, you lay out a very strategic position right now.
Thank you. Don't let him take that credit from me.
No, you can't take that power.
Do that. I have
Give credit where it's due, Musa.
No, I absolutely agree with what he said. The PPP will only be relevant if GFA can come together with PPP and bring Puma. Everyone has to come home. Look, there are people that are still supporters of PPP, and I'm talking about just outside. In their hearts of hearts, they're still PPP, but they don't see any viable path or lane. So I mean, it's
and you know what is funny? Listening to Keba and some of the things that he was laying, because if you remember the last time he was here, I was quoting the constitution and some of the violations that they did of the PPP constitution to sideline Tuma and her people. So it was pretty much a repeat of that, maybe on steroids this time around, and say no, it's not going to happen. This is why it is always important to just, if you follow the rules as they are laid, and don't try to, get the credit, manufactured credit, microwave credit, you're going to have problems. But I think they need to find a way of coming back. And Musa, you've always articulated that. And I remember when you had Dawda Jawara speak, at some point you were like, you know what, if I were the PPP, that's the guy I'm going to this thing as my leader and my candidate. And I even understand at some point he was kind of interested in that. But of course, Bibi wants to run. But again, can you imagine a PPP as Bibi? PPP's problem, Musa, is nothing but ego.
Ego. No, I haven't got to meet somebody like Bibi. I just don't see. GFA coming with BPP and young Bibi support a younger Pa Alaji. I just don't see it. I don't see that happening.
But Pa Alaji, unless there is a constitutional amendment and he gives up his citizenship, he's not qualified to run. So why he can still be the Secretary General? Huh?
Do you know whether he's a citizen though?
Oh, believe me. Why do you magis aksuta bo fufu no yaga Atlanta no? Koko amna citizen. Musa, how many Gambians do you know who've lived in the United States for 20, 30 years, who have who are legal here and are not citizens? Come on.
I'm the woman of citizens that they don't even have a green card. Are you kidding me?
Because they don't have the access to that. But those that's why you can have the are legal here with their green cards. And you think they will be renewing their green cards every 10 years?
No, why you dang them? Why you make this extra? So to me, that's your only. But like you said, come on. This is the thing, though. Keba Jallo, citizen, U.S. citizen.
No, he's a citizen, but Keba could not run for. He could not run for the presidency.
So maybe, look again. Maybe this guy is willing to do that.
That's what I'm saying. So he can be the guy to say, you know what, my only goal. They say unity. My only goal is to unite the party. I'm not interested in the presidency. That always makes it easier to discuss with everybody. I'm not interested in running as president. Okay, now we can listen to this guy. Let's come together. We will make you our candidate.
I like that. That could be something that he can do. Because the EB Davos of this world, he wants to actually run. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So again, the guy has this work cut out for him. I can guarantee you that. It ain't gonna be easy though. But uniting a party, Mom, it's always a challenge. Sir.
Before we close on, there were two key issues that happened over the past week. The one was the seizure of drugs at the airport. And there was also an outage of electricity at the airport. And I think everyone keep talking about these drugs and how the negative impact it has on our society. And sometimes we get caught up with the politics and finger pointing, but I don't think, this is across the board. I mean, politicians or parties haven't articulated much about this destructive phenomenal drugs, the back way, and I really think the focus needs to be on these issues because definitely it has destroyed communities. It's a huge challenge. There was a magistrate who was caught, for years. And I was talking to someone, he says, "Oh, this guy is the tip of the iceberg. If you know what's going on behind the scene, you'll be surprised." DEA officials, who are supposed to be enforcing, they had a bust because someone had to turn them in and they arrested them. Things that are supposed to be confiscated and burned, they wanted to distribute it and put it out in the market. So it's an issue, and I think it will require a national dialogue and how folks needs to kind of address this issue, because most of the time, maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen the president address this issue and make it something part for and center of his agenda and address it and hold people accountable. And I think this is very, very concerning, and it's across the board. I mean, if the opposition wants to take charge, I think these are issues that they need to talk to people and communicate to communities who've been impacted by this disasters.
Yeah.
I missed that most of it. Sorry, I got a call from work that I had to take care of. But
no, he was talking about the seizure that happened at the airport, and of course we all
it's and Musa, you know what is sad about that, and and it happens. I've seen people, those who support the government, started sharing pictures of other airports that had similar issues. But you see, Musa, it's just like if you are Yaneka, the provider at your house. You stay home, don't do anything. Sanjabot, you get hungry. And when they complain, get money. Monday, I'm not going to go to the Syrian, mom is a couch and berg later. So that does not excuse anything. The implications of what happened are severe. Because if you look at Gambia, Musa, and how expensive it is to travel to Gambia, you bought tickets to go to Gambia. You know how expensive it is. It is getting more and more and more expensive. And you know why that is the case? Because now most people now will prefer flying into Dakar, most airlines, than going into Gambia because of all these difficulties that they encounter. So when they start now being inconvenienced by this, and the safety of it, or lack thereof, is just crazy. And I think if I were the government, most places, Musa, these where they would constitute maybe a commission to look into the matter, and heads would roll. Because Musa I was just talking to somebody on the phone, and when we were at the airport, and so that instance playing itself over and over and over and over again. It does not make sense. It's not excusable. Instead of trying to defend here or defend here, what can we do to make sure that it does not happen again? The Gambia is supposed to be a hub because of where Musa we are located. We're losing everything to Senegal. Because Senegal is going forward. We are just stuck where we are and making excuses about New York dafle flood or Fisa dafle electricity also. The electricity situation continues to be a problem. Well, now, when it continues to affect now people who are flying, a plane that had it was about 305 people or 185 people or whatever it had, there are a lot of people, and trying to come and stop them. Brussels Airline has been one of the most consistent flights coming to the Gambia. If we lose it to only Senegal, it's a problem. It just adds a lot more burden on Gambians, and this is why most Gambians now, because of how expensive the flights are, would rather now fly into Dakar drive into the Gambia. And just look at the amount of revenue that is being lost by that, just because of 10,000 users and you collect the airport. You know, if 185 people do not come in, you're losing 185,000 in one flight. But these are people who are now going to Senegal. That flight is stranded in Senegal. Chances are it has landed now. But we just have to be a lot more serious as a country. And these things should not repeat themselves. Mistakes do happen, problems happen, but it's something that was going on the whole day for hours. Most people would have fixed it. Can you imagine flying in Tower Binela? You know what? Yes, you can land. Because Hassan Toure, you know Hassan Toure, Draman Toure's brother, was on the flight. In fact, I saw a picture that he shared. His daughter, young daughter, the picture that he took with the pilots. And talking to the pilots, his conversation, according to him, they told him, you know what, we were given clearance by the tower to land. But upon landing, trying to land, we lost contact with them. So they had to abort their landing and try to go to Senegal to land there. Let's just at least try to make these things work.
That's an extremely serious matter. And this is where I think leadership comes in. And they have to really look into it, find out exactly what transpired, what caused it, and fix it. You have to reassure the public that we don't have a leadership void and people are accountable. If it means heads rolls, then so be it. I mean, it's a question of Gambia civil aviation. I mean, I think the Minister of Transportation needs to call the managing director or whoever the person is and find out what the hell happened. We have to show seriousness. Call a press conference, whatever you do. Don't politicize it. Don't get into excuses. Don't try to do that. I mean, because we are talking about safety issues. So again, something needs to be done.
And you know, Musa, like you said, the difference between the West and the Gambia. If it were here in the United States, there would have been a press conference right there, journalists asking you questions. You are answering, and it doesn't matter how minor the situation is.
Yeah.
You would have to, and that is being accountable to the people.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, just talk to the Gambian people. Explain, listen.
Come out, and please don't spin the damn thing. Spinning works sometimes it doesn't work. When you spin, you become transparent. When you overspin, it becomes you are trying to excuse it. Just lay it for whatever it is, that this is exactly what happened, and also make sure that people that actually are responsible, hold them accountable. Plain and simple. That's what they need to do.
No, the other part too I was talking about was drugs, because you know we have seen these issues raising over and over. I believe last week they seized a huge amount at the airport, and there is an ongoing cases by a magistrate who's been implicated, and also, you know, there are several DEA officers who's been arrested as well. I mean, I don't. You are entrusted to enforce the law, but you think about your pocket more than that, and this is very destructive in every aspect. I mean, thinking about, you know, the impact this has on the youths, and you know, the back way syndrome, and I don't think politicians don't take enough time to discuss these issues. This has huge implications across communities, especially rural Gambia. You know, but I think it's time, you know, folks to concentrate and address these issues, especially the folks that are security personnel, and this all thing work into a greater aspect of why folks keep talking about security sector reform. If you bring folks in who are new, who's been trained not to think about themselves, but the profession that they adhere and love, you know, you kind of get away with, you know, this corruption, and someone try to bribe you to, you know, smuggle drugs into an airplane, or when they bring it in, try to give them a pass to go in and sell that and give you a kickback. It's very sad, but there is such an occurrence and a rise in rate on these things, and it's a concern, and I think it requires a national dialogue, irrespective of which political spectrum you belong to.
You're right, because definitely I don't think that there is anybody who is safe from this. Drugs is rampant in that country. And I have to give props, though, to the customs officers at the airport who were able, because that's not the first seizure that they did, because I've read at least twice where they've been able to intercept massive drugs that were coming into that country. But there are leakages, like they are everywhere else. But to those who are really upholding the law and doing the right thing, we want to give them props. But again, it also shows you how sad our country is, where the chief magistrate, I'm not talking about magistrate today. I'm not talking about, when Musa was young, they used to have these traveling magistrates, and the alcalos would be acting as magistrates and all this. Now we're talking about the chief. He's, we're talking about the chief magistrate, head of all magistrates in the country, to be implicated in a drug deal.
That is very
Musa,
bad.
that is sad. And then to also have NDA officers who are now accused that when it was time to burn the cocaine that they seized, they were burning Ailaso. And these things come back to the streets and kills our people.
There's always this argument when you talk about liberalism and conservative, meaning the role of government. The fundamental role of government is regulations more than anything else. I mean, you're looking at a country that is going to sink. So the regulation is absolutely important. When you have a bad cop or a bad custom officer, that is very dangerous for any viable country. Drugs coming into our country, we have to have people, and I mean serious people, that are willing and ready to do their job, honestly. We all know there is corruption in that country, no doubt about that. But there are certain areas, bro. I mean, whether are the cops, for instance, and like you're talking about custom officers at the airport, their job is very critical. And I'm glad that Pasamba at least pointed out a couple of seizures that they were able to do, because we need them.
Yep.
I mean, in the absence of that, can you imagine? You got all these drugs and you're supposed to burn them. Somehow you decided to bring it back to the market. I mean, in other countries, like, is it Singapore or some of those places?
Yeah, you get charged to life or sentenced to death.
They don't even play with that. So again,
the Qatars of this world, because there is a Gambian girl that I saw who was sentenced to life imprisonment because was smuggling drugs, they say, for the Nigerian boyfriend or husband or whatever. Because Musa, the amount can you imagine the amount of young people, Musa, that are using these pills and other is crazy. And it's not only in the Gambia, even here in the US. These pills that they use and all the stuff, they would come and do the craziest. Do you have what is going on? So how heartless can you be just because you want to have an extra $10,000 in your pocket? You just don't mind killing young people. But you see, and the danger, boy, if you go to our jails, ñoom Musa Jeng ak ñoom ñoo nga xam ne ni baxi taay lañ leen jàppee, or better joint, they're full. They fill our jails. When the big drug dealers are roaming the streets, driving these beautiful cars and living, and you look at Gambia, there is somebody who said something. And when he said it, I looked at it. He's like, you know what? There is a big contradiction in our country. Because the lifestyle that some people are living is way beyond anything that they can earn in that country. And where is that money coming from? But again, nobody cares. You have your friends, everything is transactional in that country. It's just sad. But at the end of the day, let's not destroy that country. It's a small country and all that. I've seen that at least Saul Baji is agreeing with you. He's not called.
No. He's been on my case all along. He's like, Gambia is a failed state. Now, Gambia is a failed state because I'm like, dude, maybe we need to define the parameters of what a failed state is.
I know Haiti is. I know Haiti.
Absolutely important before we start throwing phrases out there. So I don't believe Gambia is a failed state. I do believe.
No,
Gambia has
it
a
is not. We have a government that cannot address the needs, but it's not a failed state.
It's a failed state. I swear to God, we are not. Just ask our neighbors in Sudan whether Gambia is a failed state or not. Boy, do they wish. I'm talking about a failed state, Sol Baji. Out of the entire region of West Africa, they decided and said, Gambia, we run the best police department. What say you to a failed state?
Musa.
Okay, here you go. Here you go, trying to sound like a spokesperson.
Guys,
and hold on a second. Patronizing.
No, Musa. I even congratulated my brother, the IGP, on that. Well, no, when I saw Alaji Baro Road, he went to those people's website, and it is Nigerians, and they've not even announced the award on their website. But there is something that is happening though, boy. These awards, these Nigerians are very creative.
The entire West African police departments out there, Gambia numero uno. Our IG.
No, here is what I have to say about this. Is what I have to say about our police. I believe our police is under financed. I think our police, Musa, they are the most ill-equipped police station or police in the. I've been to this police, and I told you this when Chakes my telephone bill. My brother said the Harlem police. Man, I just want to see what's going on. Musa, these people accent log, binga 60s when you used to help them, like a transcription notes, they still have those logs. And I'm like, you guys don't have a computer? They said no. Then we went to one room. It was as small as Gisnesa office wo no samoko opa. Fofo la ñoo jëlé notes. Manen okay. Manen desk ni na ñu no fi DEA ñoo nekk fi. Ñun ñu ngi nekk fi Interpol tam they use this thing. So I saw a laptop there. Manen, oh, is that your laptop? They say no, that belongs to Interpol. We do not have a laptop. So in fact we have police and it's just like and it's just sad. And even during the PP time, you used to have the same problem. I know Solbaji would want to jump and say something. But you will go to the police, essence or this thing. And I can tell you, perfect example.
But, seriously though, so police winning this thing, it's all just that?
Well, here is the thing. I don't know what it is about, but like I told you, when Alaji Waro took his time and then went to their website, and when he says those Nigerians, I'm like, you know what, they're very good at giving awards. So if they win it, congratulations
so this was a
to them.
Nigerian organization?
But then he went to their website.
For real. This was all.
Yeah, that's what. Alaji Baro wrote. Yeah, Alaji Baro wrote something about that.
No.
In fact, the same day that we had that conversation, Sibopam,
I mean, that was
when I went to his page and.
Huh? I heard all congratulatory messages coming from different media houses, even on Coffee Time. The guy was. I'm like, okay, wow. But if it is just some Nigerian outfit, that would be very unfortunate, really. That would be very, very unfortunate.
And why are you accusing me of downplaying it? I said I have no comment whatsoever.
You're downplaying it.
Yeah, here's the thing. You're so intolerant. I said I have no.
What I accuse you of, y'all? Why, Sariang? We gotta talk about this thing.
Which one?
I haven't spoken about my cousins for a minute. This past week,
Go ahead.
there is a lot of. They're going after Esambai Fall for whatever he said at some meeting in Farafenye. I haven't been critical of the UDP. They're going after Swaibu Ture. That the guy is for UDP though. They're saying, look, we all have to, for the opposition, let's gang up together and shoot at the same and go after the government. Anything sort of that, we're doing the wrong thing. What's your take on that, Sariang? You think that's fair to be accusing Esam Baifalne? Why would he, go after the UDP? Is that something?
I haven't watched it. So what do you want me to say, though? I mean, everyone
What
is
have you
entitled.
watched? You watched the
He said,
electricity at
he
the
said,
airport.
he
You watched
said,
the
he
drug
said,
dealing.
he,
You
no,
watch.
hold on a
You
second.
watch
He
the things
said
that
what
you
he
want to
has to
watch.
say. He
You
said
watch
what
the
he
things
has
that
to
you want
say.
to watch.
But now you asking me. Yeah, let me respond. You ask him. He said what he has to say. Other people responded. So what do you want me to say? I have no opinion whatsoever.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Bro,
I
isn't
don't.
it convenient? We
No,
have to
it's
have
not
opinions
convenient.
about everything.
No. But he said what he has to say. He's entitled as a politician,
So
right?
my question is, the
Uh-huh.
people that are raising issues that
Uh-huh.
Esam Baifal should not be
Uh-huh.
critical of another opposition party.
I
What say
don't think
you?
I think you are missing that because I'm just reading because I knew this was I said they were setting the record straight where he misrepresented some facts and they responded to questions. So let's get this.
But
Oh
I
my
have not,
God.
Musa. I have not heard.
If you put something out there, I think you are entitled to your opinion, but as well as the people need to correct the response. So I don't know one way or the other. I think it's fair and balanced. So what do I have to say?
Yeah, but I've not heard what Esa said. I've read people talking about that. You know, I in fact read my good friend Youngs talking about that they are not in competition with any small party or opposition party or whatever. But here is the thing, though. This is a multi-party democracy. It's supposed to be, isn't it? For anybody to believe that those that are in the opposition will just all speak your own voice, I think you're missing the point totally. The UDP has all rights to tell Gambians, you know what, DOI is not the solution to your problems. NPP is not the solution to your problem. We are the solution to your problem. And UDP had worked with Barrow. So to think that people are just going to forget that and say, you know what, let's just forget, that's not going to happen. They would come and try to tie them to the hip. And they would tell them, you know what, there was a period when they occupied position A, B, C, and D. What did they change? Now it is incumbent on the UDP to come and tell us what they did. But this notion that you cannot talk about the UDP, you cannot talk about DOI because of Adama Barrow is the problem, is neither here nor there. At the end of the day, they're all competing for one thing and one thing only. Where they would not have gone after each other would be if they had come together and formed a coalition. Then they would be speaking with one voice. Until that happens, politics is a contact sport. Let's go after each other. And at the end of the day, let's at least help the people to be able to make the decision that they have to make. That's just what it is. Nothing much, nothing less.
Every political party, you're going to have your own strategy. And I understand the UDP strategy as well. Let's all shoot at the one person, and that is the NPP and the current government. That's our problem. Yes, that works for them. Because usually people see that UDP is the viable alternative to the NPP. If I had a party, hell, I would be shooting at the UDP as well. If you're going to establish yourself a viable lane, you better go after them. This whole idea, now I'm just going to shoot at the the government, and that's it. I shouldn't. No, that is crazy. From a strategic point, yes, I understand what UDP is saying. But for the smaller parties, you better establish your own lane. And what Esam Baifal said was, look, UDP is not the solution because they had an opportunity, whether it was in 2016 or 2017, whether it was accurate or not accurate. He was basically tying them to the hip with the NPP named Ni 6 and 9 lane. They're no different. Okay, that's what the whole hoopla is. Is he right or not right? Is he being political? Of course, yes. Parties have to do that. Same thing with Swaibu. I think Swaibu came after the UDP. They did not like it. But that is to be expected. Again, until, like you said, if they want to come together and say, look, we have to remove for our country to restore the aspirations that we had in 2016, let's all come together and go after this single party. and make sure that we have a change of government. But until they do that, nakalako all of it oye ngoye boy sadom. I mean, everyone for himself and God for us all. And you can fault these smaller parties.
All I know is
I think at the end of the day, it's enriching.
Why
it's enriching.
With all the issues that are out there, he missed that one. That one.
No, I did not. You tend to misinterpret all what I said.
Don't get him to provoke you, Sariang, into this thing.
You know
what Musa does.
I know what he's trying to go with.
He has a way of pushing people's buttons and get them all excited.
One thing I know is fact is MPP and UDP, they are now 6 and 9, and I rest my case. And if anyone for that matter wants to debate that, I am very glad to have that, including the party leader of what is his party's name, in fact, Sobea movement or something like that. No problem,
No, but and
you're
other
just trying
issue
to provoke, huh?
Yeah, another issue that came up, Maingis came up Bojang through his lawyers, asking for the removal of what's this guy's name? Babadi Kurang.
Yeah.
From the commission. I didn't know that Babadi Kurang worked for the commission.
Oh, he was for the commission?
Yes, they said he was one of their financial advisors or investigators or whatever. And his argument is you cannot be part of the commission and be out there every time pretty much ridiculing witnesses and so, because of it takes the impartiality from what you're doing, because you have to be partial, impartial or whatever in your deliberation. So I didn't know. I know it's going to be an interesting one, because his lawyer wrote to the commission asking for the guy to be removal, or otherwise they would challenge the whole fairness of the whole process before the courts. I didn't know when until I read that. I'm like, okay, I didn't know this was the case. But
who's this?
Yeah, but he's been. I didn't know either until when I read that. No.
No, yo, Faburama say yo de yo. Faburama ba hapusa. When you are just negative.
This is
when you are not an intellectual, you are just a common man in America. Faburama, this man is more than he's a rich intellectual. Believe me.
I'm a common man in the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. Anyway. But guys, it's been a good one. I mean, unfortunately, Pasam, I think there's been miscommunication with we want to apologize.
No, it's Sal Taal. Yeah, I spoke to him.
Sal, but apparently,
no, I spoke to him, so he missed my message. And when I called him, he was at the airport picking somebody up. So but hopefully, I told him we'll just reconvene and reschedule it and do it another time. But I think it was a good one.
Coach, one thing I must applaud Coach Mahdi, Abdullah Fati, Sal Taal, and the crew, man, and
Said Mati.
Let's hold the line.
And Said Mati is Musa's Nakalatura. Level-headed.
Yes, that's true. Said Mati is not one of those activists on steroids.
Well, but we gotta hold the line, and as I said, just resistance is the way forward. And
I am going to organize a debate between Esam Fal and Sariang, because Sariang is saying he's willing to take him on.
No problem. I'm ready. No problem.
But maybe we should organize one between Esam Fal and your party leader, Mr. Dabo, to kind of debate on whether it's 6 and 9.
Why are you getting involved in all that stuff? They are down there. They can organize that stuff.
If you're organizing, why not organize one between the president and Mr. Dabo?
Who's that? Oh, Barrow. I would love to see that one. That would be great. All party leaders. So
are they gonna speak in local language? Though,
did you guys talk about?
Either one of them.
Did you guys talk about? You know what? Funny, Musa. I was talking to somebody in the Gambia, who is not so much into politics, and somebody I know who doesn't support the UDP. président boo xam ne du wax moom gémmiñam gi leen rek la am moom na Ousseynou Dabo wax rek mu tontu ko mu ne bala ngaa dégg Barrow wax dara Ousseynou Dabo wax lu Ousseynou Dabo wax mu ne ma te léegi wax ju ñaaw laay wax sax waaw mu ne ma Ousseynou daal lay xaar su Ousseynou ne ñeek Barrow naka ma ne ko wel ku nekk am na koo yem
moom kay wax dëgg
but
yàlla
I see your prime minister Musa
who
was in the Gambia.
Gambia is covering from this Sonko maniac like nobody's business. I'm like, what in the
Muslim.
world?
We love him, man.
They love the guy. You gotta give them that.
They definitely do. Sonko mom,
Yeah.
if Sonko were to run for the presidency in the Gambia, I think he'll win by a landslide. Are you well?
There is just some aura on him that people will talk about. There is something about him that I think just resonates with a lot of people.
So.
But again, like I was telling you, when Obama was president, that's why everybody how Obama, until now. There are people who just come and just be very attractive.
I think he has that.
So
and I know of Gambians, bro, nyom loli nyang.
Lolly, oh yes, Lolly loves songs.
Sonko can do no wrong. I mean, they are like,
And I'm glad. I was in fact happy that his speech, he decided to just go straight to the local languages and talk directly to the people.
But he is so good when he does that. Well, I'm going to see President Nyom Sariang, well, because the man has to speak in English, so he can't really.
I don't think Sarian would say that. So your boy, maybe would say that.
He was mocking him, basically saying, "Are we going to do this in local languages?" That was
no. Me, don't get things twisted. I didn't never say that.
Musa,
I would prefer, to be honest, I would prefer for him to speak the local language because he's so.
You said, I said, a debate. You said, what language are they going to speak? Local languages?
Like, yes, that's what I want. Because I want us to. No. Hold on a second. But you should have asked me why I said that before you made presumption.
I don't have to ask you. I know where you're going with that.
Listen, one thing I like about Sariang, Musa, you've been accusing him of lately. You don't see him anymore. He doesn't call you anymore. But he has become a lot mellow.
Huh?
No, he's mellowed. Like, you cannot even get him to.
Oh no, he has. I don't know what it is because he will be like, hold on.
Hey, he has a happy home. So
yeah, dangan muna tapas bail wahi. And okay, but
we will be back next week. Actually, we have these D30, serious thing. Was it 10 years ago, Pasamba?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Young people left the country, took the fight to Jammeh. And in the process, some of them paid the ultimate price. We're going to celebrate it next Sunday.
Are you going to bring
panelists? There's going to be a panel. I think, I don't know exactly the composition. I think Mahdi, it's in, I think maybe Alaji Bot, maybe being Banka, Papa File. So we are going to be here. And then we're going to talk about D30, these folks.
Because I was gonna ask you, are we gonna bring the famous Kianka guy, or is he coming to talk about it?
Alaji Bot?
Yeah.
Most likely. I think so.
Okay.
My main man Banka also, maybe he might be part of the panel. And
but it's good. It's good if he has good internet connection. I mean, Papa File.
So we are looking forward to it. That will be the 29th next Sunday. We will be here same time, and we're going to talk about D30. Pap Samba.
Your man said they're probably going to blame the airport lights. So we didn't see that coming. He says on COVID, Ukraine.
Hey, mom. Sol Baji. When are they going to blame on the Ukraine war and COVID?
No, Soul cracks me up sometimes. I laugh, man. This morning I woke up, I saw him tag me, man. He kind of paragraph each one, make his bullet point and make his case about it.
And he always throws my name in there. Damato needed them Facebook, and I see this notification. I go there, it's all. I'm like, oh Lord.
No, but he's just asking a question. That he says, Musa Jeng, how can you say this? Can you back up what you said in the future when we had to deal with these type of situations? So that's what it is.
Yeah, it was about the but I know it's a Gambia that needs a new beginning. We need change in that country.
But Saul makes it sound as if that Angamom is a PPP guy. And
he is, huh?
Give us this, yes. He wants to give us this thing. The best thing that ever happened in the Gambia is PPP.
Yeah, that party that bankrupted
like,
the country
dude,
within 15 years.
I mean, not too fast. Even though I have my weaknesses when it comes to PPP. To some, what is he saying now? I got under your skin, Musaja. You do not, bro.
Saul is a
under
good
my
guy.
skin is when you associate me with President Barrow like that. Yeah, now that gets under my skin because I know you totally.
So let me ask you this, Musa. I want to give you the chance to clear yourself here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think President Barrow should be re-elected under any condition?
Pastor, I know I have answered this question to you before.
I want you to answer it again.
Let me say this. The best thing that can happen to that country, the best thing would be for President Barrow not even to contest. Our democracy needs a chance. If he contests and he wins, which I most likely will happen, I think our country is going to be at a greater, for me, our democracy, something bad could happen. And I'm not just saying this just to frighten people. That's when you get into the Mali, the Burkina Faso, the Niger. What our democracy needs right now is the president to step aside, allow free and fair elections. A new president is elected. That is going to restore, that is going to our democracy.
So in essence, what Duto Kamaso did for PPP, that's what Barrow should do for Gambia.
Absolutely. I think stepping aside, him stepping aside. I mean, the guy was supposed to be there for 3 years. He ended up being there for more than that. The people that are telling him to run, those people don't care about Barrow. They care about themselves. It's about their own political survival. What Gambia needs is a new beginning under a new leader, under a new mantle, not only for that party coming in, but for our democracy, for heaven's sake. I think that would be the best thing that can happen to that country, for him not to contest. Now, again, if he were to contest,
now you are backtracking. We had that part. Now you're backtracking now, making a case now.
If he were to contest, Momu win. What I'm saying is that is not even good for our democracy. That is bad.
We get it. Yeah.
Now, if he were to contest and then the parties can come together, stop him on his track, that would be a good thing for our country as well. Why being hamne Morgan, if you ask me,
my mom said,
you know what? I'm going to put up a candidate. Some people say, well, he cannot do that because they don't have a candidate. Of course they do. They seriously do. And if I were him, let him talk to the strategists. I tell him exactly who he can do.
Okay.
And who is the strategist?
You are doing so well. You're doing so well. And you answer the question in a very honest manner. But now they need to talk to you as a strategist for you to advise him. That entangles you and it brings that question full and center that coach asked earlier. I would stay away, even they're gonna pay me $1 million to provide unsolicited advice. Business.
Do you know why I said that? Because that is their problem. They don't have, like NPP as a party, they don't have a candidate. Barrow is our guy.
But why that though? Why?
Because they're only interested in winning. They want it for political survival.
So you build a party for one person. If that person is not there, the party will be dead. Is that what you're saying?
But
Bro,
but Saria, that has been the problem with Gambian politics there.
loolu du ñoom rek de.
No, coach. Coach bàyyi ma rek. Coach, just let us go. I know where I'm going with this.
What PPP has done, I haven't seen any other political party that is doing that. So, bul ñu sonn.
I tell you what, loolu soo ko waxul rek. Man dinaa rek bindal lifin mi ma dooli ci envelope. I know that's where you're gonna end up, but for that part of us, thank you very much. I was expecting that. Yeah, I was expecting that. I think what be no. I understand what be. Foofu la mo mujjee. So and I thank you very much.
Young man, why would they do that? How can you build a party for one person and one person alone? Manala, loolu du ñoom kenn bari nañ ci morom.
Lolde is the biggest problem that we have in our country. Once the party leader goes, the party goes.
Of course.
UP is no more because PNJ is no more. GPP is no more. Asan Musa is no more. NCP is no more because of Nakalachuda. Sirif is no more. PPP is trying to resuscitate itself because Jawara is no more. OJ is no more. But anyway, guys. It was a good one. You dance Kochi Konsi.
So you have the final say. So what is the Sumbuya today? What does that symbolize?
No, man. In fact, I ordered some more from the Gambia. I like them. And because Man Musa, I make things look good. And I see my boy, Matar Sajao. Thank you very much, Matar Sajao. See, I make things look good.
Sarian has one last week though. Yes,
no, because Sarian never under time. I'm not Sarian. It's not trying to be.
Are you guys communicating behind the scenes at my?
Are you jealous?
What's up with that?
Are you jealous?
Coach, somehow I call you more.
No, he's jealous. Because he is here complaining, since your wife came, you're not calling me. So now it's like, it's okay, boss. But anyway, guys.
All right, man.
Till next Sunday, guys, viewers, thank you very much. Come back next Sunday. We're going to be talking about D30.
Inshallah.
All of you.
Thank
Inshallah.
you.
Inshallah, always.